and I also was getting some glycolic acid peels at the same time, so they're kind of like fruit acids. So yeah, I'll just kind of give you guys a background on my whole theory and idea of doing it. Probably about, how old am I now, 24, probably when I was like 21, so like 3 years ago. I'm just going to give a really graphic explanation as to why I did what I did, and just kind of what my skin's been through over the last couple of years. Yeah, so when I was about 21, I had fairly good skin. Like, I never had breakout to an extent where it was, you know, a major issue for me. I could always kind of just wear quite natural makeup. Yeah, nothing where I felt like it was a massive deal. But just one day I woke up with a cold sore on my face, and silly me, I must have used a sponge when I was applying my makeup, and the rest of my face caught this massive infection, and I think it spread because of that sponge. I think it definitely did. It sounds disgusting, but I had such an intense infection all over my face. Randomly started to break out at the same time. It was like my skin was heavily stressed out. In saying that as well, I was smoking at the time. I know, right? I know. I don't do that now, but I was getting a lot of intense breakout through my cheeks here, and I know, like, when you break out through here, it's all caused from respiratory, so from the lungs. So of course I knew, looking back on it now, at the time I didn't know, but looking back on it now, it's caused from, you know, social smoking. And yeah, so that intensified a lot. I was able to get rid of that really intense infection on my face. I took antibiotics. A doctor put me on a pill called Jeanette 81. It was great. Helped clear up my breakout. I hated it because I put on quite a bit of weight with it. I changed pills and I was fine after that. I kind of got regular with hormones and just got the regular breakout whenever, you know, had your period and stuff like that. So, but when it came to the aftermath, my skin was severely scarred. Yeah, it probably took me about a good 6 months to get rid of all that breakout, but the scarring was so intense. Like, I couldn't deal with it. It was just because I'm very fair as well. The red scarring just stood out like a sore thumb, and I never used to have to feel the need to wear heavy makeup, but then I got to the point where I just had to cover it. It was just a really big insecurity of mine, because I used to be able to feel okay without wearing makeup, but even now I'm still so aware of them. So I thought, just now that I've really become so passionate about skincare, looking after my skin, makeup and things like that, I thought it would be a really good idea to go get myself some microdermabrasion done and glycolic peels. I think it's glycolic. I'm so sorry. I know there's like a million beauty therapists out there just like cringing, hating me because I'm not saying it right, but I just want you guys to know as well, I'm not an expert on this, so whatever I tell you, it's just more like my personal experience and how it worked for me and all that sort of stuff, and just kind of like the general things that I know. I'm not an expert, so don't like crucify me if I'm wrong. I'm just a consumer, I'm just a customer on, you know, all this sort of stuff. So I went to the Casey clinic here in New Plymouth, and oh my god, they were so amazing to deal with. They sent me out with 6 sessions, and it was every 2 weeks that we would do one. So the real purpose behind this was a heavy exfoliation to soften the appearance of all my like heavy scarring, and I did have a lot of pitted skin as well. So I was really just hoping that by doing the microdermabrasion it would lift the appearance of that really heavy thick scarring. So there is my lovely friend Raquel, who works at the Casey clinic. She has just greeted me at the office, and we're going to go into the room and she's going to start the microdermabrasion on me. First of all, she did do the glycolic peel on me. That was amazing because what it did was break down that cemented layer of dead skin on my face, and then it just removes away, so it allows all the young, more fresher skin cells to get to the surface. And yeah, then she just kind of wipes it off, and then she follows on with the microdermabrasion. So the microdermabrasion, it has this, like, as you can see, it's like this really random sand looking thing in a tube. So she runs this suction tube over my face, and what it does, it has little crystals that penetrate the skin, and then at the same time they're sucked back out into another tube, and it's just constantly penetrating and flicking off and removing dead skin, and that's being sucked out at the same time. And it's slightly manipulating the skin to be damaged, but not in an abrasive way. It just manipulates it to start repairing itself and to rejuvenate younger skin cells to get to the surface. It looks pretty intense afterwards because my face is quite red, but you know, it's fine. Like, you just got to compare it to the fact that, you know, you go and wash your face at night and you might have a bit of a red face. Same sort of thing. It's just stimulation of the blood. It goes down within about half an hour. So this is just how my skin is looking. I don't know if the lighting is like overly great, but it's very red, a bit tingly, but overall it feels amazing. So just to give you guys an update on how my skin's looking, probably about half an hour after the whole procedure. I think that's what you call it, like a procedure, yeah. So this is how my skin's looking after an hour. So much more clearer. Generally you want to do it kind of after work, and then way you can go home and they prep your skin and everything like that, so it's ready for bed. So now I'm just going to show you guys my first kind of log, if you want to call it, and just give you guys a little general idea of how it went. Okay, so I thought I'd do a progressive kind of talk through on how things went last night. So first of all, I started off with the glycolic peel, and from what I've been told, I will experience a little bit of peeling, mainly in areas that are generally quite dry for me. So I know probably around my nose area, maybe around my chin. You can see after getting my dermabrasion that I have started to experience a little bit of redness, but that's only natural. As soon as I got up and had a look at my skin in the mirror, I instantly noticed a massive difference in the texture and the complexion of my skin. It was a little red, it was actually very red, but you could see the skin was so smooth and so soft looking. They said it would probably take 24 hours for my skin to settle down, but I've got double wear, so I know that's going to cover my skin before I go to work this morning. So after that first session, I did another 5. I didn't document them or anything. I just thought I would just tell you guys how it all went. After that first session, my skin never peeled again. I think it was just a first time thing where your skin's not used to it, so it just automatically peeled with the glycolic peel. And then after that, all my dermabrasions were so much softer on my skin. The improvement of my skin, I would say, would be like up to 60%. Like, my scarring is just so much better. I'll show you guys my before and after photos right here. The other thing I had to mention is after my first session with the Casey Clinic, they gave me a micro needling tool. So this is going to just, this is only a it's only a 0.03, so I know it has to be at least a 0.05 for an anti-aging collagen rejuvenator, and so this one's just going to help with the texture and just kind of just softly penetrates through the skin, and then put your skincare on top. But because you've just slightly penetrated the skin, you're also allowing your skincare to get into the skin better, be a bit more active and things like that as well. You just got to go really softly with it, and I would do this probably about like once a week just to keep up maintenance. So yeah, I hope that was quite informative for you guys. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much depth about it. It's not my place to, because I don't know too much about it. I'm just a consumer. I think microdermabrasions, they are a little bit pricey, but I think in the way of really looking after your skin, you've only got one skin and you can never fix it once it's ruined. You can to an extent, but you need to look after it now. So I would definitely recommend it for anyone who is having trouble with scarring, rough texture, dullness about the skin. I would really recommend going to an institute, a skin institute, and doing it. If you're in New Plymouth, I highly recommend the Casey Clinic. Penny and the team there have been so amazing to me. They've looked after me with tender loving care, and I just enjoyed my experience. So I hope this kind of gave you guys a little bit more of an insight if you're thinking about microdermabrasion. Don't forget to follow me on the rest of my social media sites